In everyday life with mail and WhatsApp, you won't see any big difference between a phone of the mid and the high-end class. But what if you want to play a 3D game like Dead Trigger 2? That's what we test in this video with the Huawei P10 Lite and the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Welcome to the GameCheck. And we start with the Huawei P10 Lite, that's this one here, and the first session of Dead Trigger 2. I'm using GameBench. You see here that it's running in the background. I'm trying to get at least 4 minutes. In the upper right corner, you see live the frames per second rate. And of course, I'm trying to really force the CPU and GPU by making quick gestures and moving on and forth and back and looking around to really have the processor and the graphics performance made stressed as high as possible. Yeah, and by the way, this is no Let's Play. Please do not get me wrong. It's not about this game or how I'm playing it. It's just a tool to check how that device is doing in real day life with real games, and especially with something very graphically advanced like this Dead Trigger 2 game here. And I play at least 4 minutes because here in the background, that's GameBench running and measuring the frames per second rate you see here, and it will have kind of an average. So we will need to have at least 4 minutes to have enough information to get a correct average, and not just from 10 or 20 seconds or something. Here we got it. So you see in some cases it's really going with up to 60 frames per second. That's the maximum of that game, and especially this is one of the few games that's really graphically advanced, and especially that's doing the very same support of all platforms, so Exynos and Kirin and not Qualcomm only, for example. So it's really a fair comparison here. Yeah, and let me have a closer look once more here where we are. That's not because I'm so nervous, it's just to having, like I told you at the beginning, stressing a little bit CPU and GPU. Okay, let's go on, and here to the left, back down again, and up to here, and it might be looking like an unfair competition because it's a completely different price. I know that, but we have compared quite a lot of phones in the mid class and in the upper class, and there was it was almost like expected, let me call it like that. But if you pay, for example, here in Germany and Europe, we have a recommended retail price of the P10 Lite of €349, including tax, but without any contract, compared to €899 of the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, or €799 for the S8. So more than double the amount you will have to pay. But on the other side, if the difference would be only few, you would say, okay, why should I pay more than double just for some few frames per second more? So it doesn't make any sense for me if it would be that way. If it's a really huge and significant difference, you will say, okay, I'm a gamer, I want to have a good gaming experience, so it's worth the plus of money. That's what we will want to see in this video. That's why I'm doing this. Here it's as a processor, the Kirin 658, meaning you have 8 cores, all is Cortex A53, clock rate is 2.4 and 1.7 gigahertz, just like let's have a closer look out there. Okay, here we go. Go on. With the Mali T830 with 2 cores, 2 graphic cores, and 4 GB of RAM, of working memory. So quite a lot. Okay, we are at 4 minutes here. Okay, then I can go outside here because at that moment this level is finished, as you can see here, and that's why I'm stopping the recording. And let's have a look what GameBench is telling. As you can see, we are here at 39 frames per second. Below there you see, okay, 17% CPU, but that's not telling you very much because the GPU isn't supported by GameBench at the moment, and the GPU should make the most of the computing. So this value doesn't count anything. So just forget about that. Just 39 frames per second as an average. That's the value you should keep in mind. Now we start GameBench here on this one, and like that. Here we are in Dead Trigger 2 at the very same level as you can see here. I'm also making, or trying at least, to make almost the same movements here, looking around and walking and doing these strange things. Ammunition is here. Let's have charged. And here is the visitors. Okay, let's go inside and see that we can have 4 more minutes to have the same amount of time. Here, like I told you, it's a completely different CPU and GPU. This one is the Exynos 8895. In some countries, the S8 and S8 Plus is coming with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835, but not here in Germany, Europe. So this is the only S8 and S8 Plus I could get. But as far as I've heard, it's almost the same performance. A little difference between that Qualcomm and this Samsung chipset, but not so much. So it's comparable. The difference is you have 8 cores, but 4 of those are, where do I have to go? That way? Okay. Ammunition. Here we go. First of all, it's 4 cores with the M2. That's a Samsung high-performance processor. The other 4s only are these Cortex A53, like on the Huawei P10 Lite. So you have different architecture of the CPU, and especially you have a different GPU. That's the Mali G71 MP20, meaning you have 20 graphic cores instead of 2, plus that higher processor, and once more 4 GB of working memory of RAM. That's the same like in the Huawei, but nevertheless, all the rest is high-end instead of mid-class. And you also see that we are at some occasions here, whoa, 26, perfect timing here. So it's not that you would say, okay, I'm always at 58, 59, 60 frames per second, out of a maximum of 60, like I told you at the beginning. So it's no easy play also for the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, despite all the big and huge hardware. So you see that it's really demanding this Dead Trigger 2. Once more, it's not a Let's Play. It's not because I love that game so much. It's really just only because it's doing what it has to do, really stressing the CPU and GPU. Okay, 3 minutes, 1 more minute to go. Let me have one last look in this now empty house, at least I hope so, and go that way. And of course, let me tell you, these both phones, of course, are set here the game at the maximum level of detail. Of course, otherwise it wouldn't make much sense. And it wouldn't stress the system on a chip that much if it would be just on a low level. Sure. Okay, 3:40, almost done. Let's greet some more visitors here before we can go outside. One more look around here with all these details. Okay, we have to go that way. Wonderful. 4 minutes, we are done. That should be enough. Yeah, there is the exit. One more round, I guess we have had for 24. Now we're done. Okay, these some seconds, I hope, won't make much difference. And let's have a look what GameBench is telling here. On the left, once more, the Huawei P10 Lite. On the right, Samsung Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus with the same chip. So here it's 42 instead of 39 frames per second. So you have a small difference. I did other runs where I had, let's say, 44 frames per second, depending on the movements. So around about 42, 45, something in that. So a little bit more, but you see, like I told you at the beginning, it's more than double the price if it's worth for you to have these some frames per second more, these a little bit more, fluid movements in the game. You have to decide by yourself. But I'd say for those of you who are not demanding the very best possible thing you can get on mobile, it's absolutely okay. You can have fun even with these 39 frames per second. So not that big a difference like some might have expected from the beginning. And that's it with the GameCheck from the Huawei P10 Lite and the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Thanks for watching, and maybe you're also kind to rate this video and to even leave a sub and your opinion in the comments. Thanks for that in advance. Take care and bye.